Hey there, grade 6. New math video for you guys, carrying on in our patterns in algebra video series. This one is called Making Sequences from Graphs. And by the end of this video, you should be able to, this video and then maybe some practice in the workbook, you should be able to create a table of values and a sequence from a graph and compare graphs represented in different ways. So the first thing we're going to do is just some plotting and identifying ordered pairs on a grid. Now, let's remember that you can consider ordered pairs as, and then it shows in brackets. So they use the bracket. The first number is the term number, and the second number is the term or term value. And you can use them to show a sequence. So just a reminder that the first number in the coordinate pair is the number of the column, and the second number is the number of the row. And so that's just a quick reminder of stuff that we've talked about so far. Now let's get into actually just a bit of practice plotting and identifying ordered pairs on a grid. So here's our coordinate grid. There's a bunch of points that are plotted here. We're asked to first write a list of ordered pairs from the graph. And so if I look over here, this is my first point. So I'm going to say that that is 1, 2. Then I'm going to go over 1. My next one's 2, 4. My next one is 3, 6. And my next one is 4, 8. And then my last one is 5, 10. And so the next question that they're asking is, what is the value of the second term? And so we know that the way it goes is term number and then term. So if I look at my sequence, my second term is going to be 4. Okay? So my term numbers just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My terms, or my term values, go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then the next question is, what is the value of the third term? Well, the third term in my sequence, here's my third one. The term is 6. And then what term number has the term value equal to 8? And so that would be right here. So I would say that that is 4. And then the last question, and this is some stuff that we worked on yesterday, and you were learning to identify, but does the graph show an increasing or decreasing sequence? And it shows, because it's going up and to the right, it shows an increasing sequence. So the next thing that we're going to do is writing a table using our ordered pairs. So we can actually write a set of ordered pairs in a table. To do this, we make our two columns, right? One for the term numbers and the other for the term values. And so here's our table. And so for the exercise that we just did, our term numbers just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our term or term values went 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And so if we go back to the previous slide, we can see 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, etc. Okay. So the question then is, how do the gaps in the table relate to the points on the graph? So first of all, what is the gap between the numbers in the column? It goes up by 2s. So the gap between the term numbers shows the horizontal distance. Okay, so that's the horizontal distance is like the distance from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. The term value shows the vertical distance between the numbers. So the gap is 2, and it shows a distance of 2, but it shows it vertically. Whereas the gaps between the term numbers, it shows horizontally. So the gaps here are typically 1. Okay, and so it's key to kind of remember that. And the last thing is to get to the next point on the graph from the previous point. In this case, we go 1 unit to the right and 2 units up. And so that's how we use our gaps, right? So the horizontal gap's 1, the vertical gap is 2. So here's some exercises. We have these 3 patterns that are shown. And part A says, list the ordered pairs for each graph. And so I'm going to try to squish it in here as best I can. So here's for A. We have 1, 5. We have 2, 6. And we have 3, 7. In B, we have 1, 0, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, I got to fix that stuff up for a quick sec. Made a couple of errors. All right. Let's make sure my line thickness is still there. I have 1, 0, close bracket. I have 2, 3, close bracket. And then I have 3, 6. And in C, I have 1, 2, 2, 4, and 3, 6. Then it says that I can draw a table for each graph. And so I'm actually going to need to extend the page on that one. Make sure that my line is thin again. Okay. So again, for A, I have 1, 2, 3. It's my term numbers. And then my values go 5, 6, 7. And then for B, again, looks like a T-chart. I have 1, 2, 3. And I have 0, 3, and 6. And then in C, again, T-chart, 1, 2, 3. And then it goes 2, 4, and 6. And so it says in each table, find the gap between term values. So here the gap is 1, which means the vertical distance is 1. And we can see this on the coordinate grid here. The dots are going up by 1s. In this one, in B, the vertical gap between the term values is 3. So it goes from 0 to 3 and then 3 to 6. And again, you can see it's going up by 3 each time. And in pattern C, the gap is 2. It's going up by 2 vertically. So then if we know that that's the gap, I'm just going to change my color for a quick sec, get back to my line thickness. It says, which pattern reaches the term value with a value of 12 first? Well, we go point here, 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 and then here. And so it's a bit small, but we won't actually hit 12 until we get to the eighth number on the horizontal point. If this is going up by 3s, so we go over 1 and then up 1, 2, 3, and we go over 1 and up 1, 2, 3, and so that hits it by the 5th term. This one goes over 1 up 2, over 1 up 2, and then over 1 up 2, so it'll hit it by the 6th term. So pattern B will hit 12 first, and there's actually a question in the workbook that looks like that. And so that's really all I wanted to show you guys today, is sort of working from a grid back to term numbers, term values to identify gaps. And so I think that we've achieved our goals way back to the first slide. There's practice on page 89 and 90 that I'd like you to do in your workbook. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day.